Right, I'm going to use this as a cross member. This will go roughly under where the seat goes. I'm going to put metal on here. The floor's going to sort of follow the chassis, because I like making things difficult for myself. Measuring 380. Inside. That'll be the back. Because nothing is straight on the chassis, it's all curved, bent. It's going to be a little bit more difficult for me to measure anything and get things square. So I'm going to use these 2 points. You can see that on the camera. Yep. As my reference points, these inner corners. So now, mark that. And cut it. Alright, got this one in place. I'm going to measure up for the front one, which will go right before this curve. 82 will be in front of it. Chop this one up. Fit in there. Now, I've got a little issue. This rail is the one I did with the hammer and chisel. So it's got the swage line in this side as well. So I've got a bit of a gap there to contend with. And then the front of it tapers in. So I've got to put angles on those, which is going to be fun. But it's pretty easy. Line up your marks. And draw the angles on there. They come in on each other. And then just chop it up with the angle runner. Easy peasy. Well, that's them welded in place. Yes, this is gal, and I'm in a big space with the door open, and it's quite windy, so I'm not concerned about it. All that white stuff is the gal. Beautiful welds. Now, I want to have a go at making this spreader bar. This slip roller or pipe bender, whatever you want to call it, I got from Facebook Marketplace. I use it, I'm going to be using it a lot on the big 32 build. I just want to put a really slight bend in this, hopefully without crushing it too much. This thing has a tendency to sort of squish things. We'll see how it comes out, but I think this is a learning experience to not do this. It's definitely not straight anymore. You can see it. It's got a flat spot, top and bottom. But we'll see what we can get out of it. It's definitely not straight anymore. Shush. I gotta cut the end off it, and the end of it's straight. Then I've measured the front of the horns, frame horns, and they're 265 millimeters. So I'm going to halve that and add a little bit. So when I bring the points together, it should be a nice V with a slight curve, hopefully. I guess we'll see how it turns out. Okay, so what I've decided to do is put a slice in it and bend it. Put another slice in it and bend it till I get the point I want. It's really hard to see, but that's the way it goes. So I want it to sort of, I was hoping for more of a curve, but it was just crushed in the pipe, so I'm going to have to just deal with what I got. So mark the top. Let's mark it as top. So I'm going to measure the center, which is 150 millimeters, because I cut it oversized. I'm going to put a slice in there, bend it, have a look at it. I'll probably end up doing that at least 2 times. I'm going to get my PPE on so I don't get sparks in my eyes. That's nowhere near enough. Alright, change of plan. I think I'm going to do a pie cut. Cut it in half. Probably put on the bandsaw and take some slices out of it, because that's just not going to work. Cutting angles on this little bandsaw is a prick, because you've got to undo 2 bolts back here, bend that around. I wish I had got a swivel head one where the whole bandsaw moves and the bed stays still. But what I've got done is just put a little block of a little bit of round stock in there on an angle, and I'm going to hope that it doesn't move. That's a pretty good V. Clean that burr off it. That's kind of what I pictured in my head. I just wanted it to sort of curve in a little bit, so you know, looked a little different, but I'm pretty happy with that. It's not too dramatic. I think it's just right. So I'm going to get that welded and ground, and I'll show you when I'm finished. It's raining quite hard, so it might be hard to hear me. This is it. Not too bad. Next one I'm going to make, I'm not going to try and roll it because these crash marks didn't quite line up. But overall I'm pretty happy with it. Now I just got to try and get it in the front of the car all centered up. Right. This is going to be tricky, I reckon. On that side on the top. I might have to sort of clamp something across here with a centre mark in it, just to make sure it is centre. And then cutting these angles so it fits is going to be tricky. Right, so I don't know if you can see it on the camera, you can adjust. There's the centre mark there. Pull it that way. So I'm going to eyeball the centre mark. And of course my text is not in my pocket. And then I want to point down a little bit. Try and mark it from underneath. So we've got the angle there. I think it's going to be quite tricky to cut that. Well, I forgot to hit record. Spilled it in there. Took quite a bit of finessing to get it to sit right. Bit it, grind it, bit it, grind it. You know the drill. Would have definitely been easier just to have a nice straight one, but I think that looks really cool. Slightly tipped down. I'm going to clean these old welds off, clean off some of this spatter and stuff that's stuck to the frame, and I'm going to put the body back on. Just have a look. Would you look at that? It's back on there. And my nice little Spreder bar. Very nice. Still a few little things I've got to do. Got to sort out this rear section, which is going to be hard because I cut that out. It'll be easy on this side because it's still there. So I'm just going to scribe that basically, cut it out, and then make a piece to sort of taper up into that shape. So it looks like the frame goes up behind, which it doesn't, and it won't, because the swing arm is going to be attached to those points in there. But it's looking good. I got to take templates of this chassis because of the heavier modifications in the front of the horns there. When I make the chassis, there's nothing I can do about that. It's going to have a pie cut regardless. And then you see these grind marks here. That's where I put slices in it and bent the rails to fit the body. This side, I'm not sure what's going on with this car. It's not symmetrical because the other side follows it perfectly, whereas this side it bows out in the middle and then comes in too far. But I'm blaming the body for that because the chassis rails are pretty much identical, whereas this side it doesn't go in really far there, so the body's the body is in more on this side. It's hard to explain, but it is a pain in the ass. And I want to get the chassis or the body sitting right flush on there, like it is here and here.